Coming up on the Chiefs Report, we react to the initial 53-man roster, plus a Rashee Rice update. We'll talk about that when we get to the receivers. And little side note, waiver wire about to hit, so a couple of tweaks could be coming. Jackson will have a short on the channel for relevant changes to the roster, so keep us tapped in here on the Chiefs Report. But little challenge for you guys. Whoever comments the most on this show is going to get a shout out on our next video. So if you send in 20 different comments and that's the most, that is going to be you. So challenge yourself. Whoever comments the most will get a shout out on the next episode of the Chiefs Report. Okay, the Chiefs are keeping two quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes and Gardner Minshew. Chris Oladokun and Bailey Zappi have been waived. You would assume at least one of those guys is back on the practice squad. Really no surprise. They've tried to have Oladokun develop the last couple of years, but he kind of just is what he is. Minshew's a reliable backup, so feel good about that. 4 running backs on the 53, Isiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, Elijah Mitchell. Brashard Smith does make it, which I'm glad to see. We saw him flash as a pass catcher and on a couple of runs, especially in that last preseason game against Chicago. Carson Steele was a notable release. I think they would like to get him back on the practice squad. He does have fullback flex in there as well, but he's had a fumbling issue since entering the league last year, so we'll see what his future looks like. When you look at the wide receiver position, and we'll talk Rashee Rice here in a second, 8 receivers on the initial 53. Now, Rashee Rice is going to miss some time, it sounds like, so it's really 7, but Rice, Xavier Worthy, Marquise Brown, Jalen Royals, Juju Smith-Schuster, Tyquan Thornton, who had a great camp and had that big deep ball completion in the final game, Nico Remigio, and Jason Brownlee. Now, before we get to tight ends, I do just want to talk about Rashee Rice here for a second. Adam Schefter, right before we hopped into the studio to film, said that the Chiefs are essentially bracing for a 6-game suspension and that it would start at the beginning of the season. Now, that is a shift from reporting we heard a few weeks ago because his court date is in late September, I believe. Usually the NFL waits for those legal proceedings to conclude before handing out a suspension, but it sounds like this could happen as soon as week 1. I will say, if I'm a Chiefs fan, I think I just want this out of the way. If it's 6 games, let's rip it weeks 1 through 6, and then he's good to go the rest of the season, because it would suck if you're kind of rolling week 4, week 5, and then you miss him middle of the year, then you have to kind of ramp him back up. I'd rather get this out of the way early, so if that's how this ends up playing out, I think that's actually preferable, because there's no scenario where he doesn't get suspended, so you might as well get it out of the way at this point in time. So that is the update there when it comes to Rashee Rice, and probably part of the reason why they kept 8 receivers, because he's going to be out of the mix to start the year, it sounds like. Don't miss out. Get ready for the regular season by hitting that subscribe button. We are on the road to 73,000 subscribers. We're continuing to figure out who's going to be the permanent host here at the Chiefs Report, but Jackson's doing a great job with the shorts content for you guys. We're working in videos when we can here on the channel as well, so keep us locked in, and we'll continue to pump out the content. Okay, just 3 tight ends initially here. Jaquavius Spivey and Robert Tonyan were cut, but Travis Kelce, the newly engaged man, Noah Gray and Jared Wiley make the 53. Good chance Robert Tonyan is back. Since he's a vested veteran, he's not subject to waivers, so there could be more roster maneuvering coming. He could be back just on the practice squad too, so keep an eye on him as someone who could be back in the mix here. Okay, offensive line, 10 offensive linemen here. Josh Simmons, Kingsley Suamataia, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Juwan Taylor, your projected starters. Jalen Moore, kind of that 6th offensive lineman. He can play both tackle spots and guard if needed. Wanye Morris is back. Mike Caliendo. Norzad is the backup center. And Driscoll is in the mix there as a swing guard also. Okay, 9 defensive linemen now. George Karlaftis, Chris Jones, Derek Nottie following that trade to bring him back from the Jets. Mike Dana, Ashton Gelati, who flashed in that final preseason game. It was good to see that. Omar Norman Lott, some chatter. He could go to short-term IR. That could bring back a Robert Tonyan, if you will, so keep an eye on that. Charles Menahue, Jerry Tillery, and Malik Herring. If Omar Norman Lott goes to IR, be on the lookout for a potential addition. Mike Pennell was cut. That could be that addition. You just bring him back. He's a vested veteran, so he's not subject to waivers either. I would imagine he is back in the fold, as he has had a nice little run here in Kansas City. More positions to break down, but we do have to tell you guys about today's awesome sponsor. That is Prize Picks, the best daily fantasy sports app in North America. Get signed up at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Football is back. The real opening weekend of college football is here, and the big boys will be playing soon enough as well. It's very easy to play Prize Picks as you just pick more or less on stat projections on 2 to 6 player lineups. If you get your lineup right, you can win up to 2,000 times your money. That's right, folks. You can turn $10 into $20,000. I got a little 2-player lineup as all eyes are on Texas, Ohio State. Arch Manning, a little demon pick. I like him to find the end zone on a rushing touchdown, so give me more than half a rushing or receiving touchdown. I like the less on Garrett Nussmeier passing yards against Clemson. 279.5. That's a steep number against the stout Clemson defense. $20 entry to win 90. You get that little boost with that demon pick. Those are tougher to hit, but again, you can go up to 6-player lineups and you can get much larger payouts if you hit those. Get started today. Download the Prize Picks app right now and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. It's Prize Picks. Run your game. Okay, 6 linebackers: Nick Bolton, Leo Chenal, Drew Tranquill, Jeffrey Bassa, Cooper McDonald, a UDFA, makes the roster as well, and so does Jack Cochran, who's been a solid special teamer for this team. Xander Mueller, Cam Jones, and Owen Carney, some releases in this position group for Kansas City. What do you guys think is the strongest position group on this Chiefs roster? What say you? With Bolton and Chenal in there and Tranquill, that's a pretty good one. Quarterback's obviously strong with Mahomes, and Minshew's a great backup. But if you take that out of it, I think once fully healthy, this is the best receiver unit the Chiefs have had in some time, so that's exciting. I think the explosive passing game will be back, so that'll be fun to see. But you guys let me know, strongest position group on the team. Chiefs going to roll with 5 corners on the 53. Obviously, you got Trent McDuffie, Noah Williams, and Jalen Watson, your expected starters there. Christian Fulton, I did not think played that well in that final preseason game, so I think he's going to be a backup. Josh Williams does make the cut. Jacoby Covington, a notable release. So is Azizi Hearn and Johnny Carter. But 5 corners for now on Kansas City's 53-man roster. Okay, we go to safety now. Shamari Connor and Brian Cook, your projected starters. Jaden Hicks is likely going to be that third safety in there as well. Chris Roland Wallace, who had a good camp and was a big reason why they decided to release veteran Mike Edwards. We'll see if he's back in the fold or if they move on from him entirely. Major Williams was cut as well, but I like that big 3 of Connor, Cook, and Hicks. As we know, Steve Spagnuolo likes to deploy a lot of 3 safety coverage looks. And then the specialists, no surprises here. Harrison Butker, Matt Araiza, and James Winchester, the long snapper, still kicking for the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, the following players were placed on injured reserve: Keontae Ingram, Jake Brenningstool, Felix Anudike-Uzomah, Jamarius Robinson, Brandon George, Dion Bush, Eric Scott, and then Nazeeh Johnson. And so was B.J. Thompson, who's on the NFI list, and obviously he's had a lot going on since he's entered the NFL, so unclear what his future looks like, but that is where he sits right now. What is your confidence level in the Chiefs winning it all? Obviously looking to get back over that hump after a pretty embarrassing Super Bowl loss a year ago. Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very confident, 1 being not confident at all. I'm pretty confident they're the team to beat in the AFC. And like I said earlier, once Rice is back, assuming this initial suspension happens, if they can get him rolling back into the mix with Worthy, Marquise Brown, I thought Kelsey looked pretty good in the preseason. I think this passing game can have a lot of juice that it's lacked in the last couple of years. So let us know what you guys think. Don't forget to subscribe on the way out, and we'll see you guys next time here on the Chiefs Report.